Good morning, this is Annalisa Hunter, and this is a quick take. So it's morning. I'm in a hotel in Kansas City. I am a member of the St. Paul School of Theology, Master's of Divinity program, and I am down here for some classes. Every semester I'm supposed to come down for a few hours of in-person training. It's part of the requirement of my program that's mostly online. And we've been talking a lot about the digital faith community this week, and I just was really struck by the experiences a lot of people have been having during the pandemic about how much they have really grown through a digital community, talking about their faith and their spirituality, and also really struggling with what does it mean to be the church and what does it mean to be a disciple in today's world. And so I'd like to do a quick take this morning, just a real short little video, just talking a little bit about some of my spiritual practices, in particular daily devotions. So I have a Bible here, I have a journal here, and the first thing I want to say is that I have been a Christian my whole life. I was baptized literally 1 month after I was born, and my family is very devoted Christians. And every time I went to see my grandparents, they did devotions every single day. My mother's parents followed Our Daily Bread, which was a little devotional guide from the Lutheran Church. And every night at supper, when they finished eating, my grandfather would pull out this little devotional book and the Bible, and they'd sit at the table. They'd do devotions and pray. And whoever was there for supper did devotions with them. As I became an adult myself, I have to admit that for huge chunks of my life, I have not done daily devotions. At Bridges Church, we've talked about pray being one of our 5 spiritual practices that we believe is one of the cornerstones of what Jesus taught us, to be connected to God and connected to our neighbors. And I have to admit, I don't always do it. I really don't always do it. When I first became a pastor, I was very good at doing it. I had been recommended the Life Journal Bible reading plan, and I was devoted. Every day I did that. I wrote down some of my thoughts. I actually used a composition notebook that I got during the back to school sales, because you can usually get them for 10 or 20 cents. And so that's what I used, and I was very good for a while, but especially during the pandemic, I have just really had a hard time doing the daily devotions. And so the first thing I want to say is that I do think daily devotions are really useful, but it's important to find a format that works for you. Some people, it's a podcast that they listen to while they're driving or while they're working out. Some people, it's different types of Bibles, different types of devotional guides. For me, I found, this is called a Lectio Divina Bible. It's the Common English Bible translation, which is the one that we use at Bridges Church most of the time. But it's been divided up into little chunks. You can see there's a black section here, and it divides it into sections that kind of make sense to each other. And there's a little bit of an idea, a reflection, a prayer prompt before each section. I am finding this to be really useful right now. It's speaking to what I need, because each section kind of hangs together. You're not just like arbitrarily cutting something off in the middle of a story because you got to the end of a chapter. At this conference that I've just been at, I was given a free journal, and so for the last couple days, it's just been feeling really good. I read one section, I meditate on it, and part of the Lectio Divina tradition is that whatever kind of jumps out at you, you think about, you pray about. And so I just want to share, today I read John chapter 1, verses 19 to 51. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. You can look it up and read it for yourself. But one of the things that really jumped out at me, there's a section where John the Baptist, sees Jesus coming towards him, and other people later on are like, so John, are you the Messiah? Are you Christ? Are you Elijah? Who are you? And John's really humble. He's like, no. I was just sent to point the way. But as he describes this time seeing Jesus, he says twice, even I didn't recognize him. Even I didn't recognize him. And that really struck me today. Now, when each one of us reads this, there's going to be a different thing that jumps out at you. If I read this next week, probably something else jumps out at you. But that's today what jumped out at me. And it just really made me feel like, how many times do I not recognize God working in the world around me right now. Those Holy Spirit moments, those God moments where it's clear that God is upon the people around me. And I'm just missing out on it, totally missing out on it. So that's really all I have for you today. I just really encourage you to find a way of reading the Bible, listening to the Bible, being involved in the Bible every day, even if it's just small chunks, in a way that works for you, in a way that God speaks to you. This is the way that at the moment is working for me. And if you'd like to talk to me about different options so that you can find a way that works for you, just give me a call or contact me at pastor@bridgesdowntown.com. Hope you have a super day. Thanks.